So where are we going anyway? I mean, I know we're going to... Consolation?
Yeah.
That's a hard word for me to say.
You want a short lashon.
Lashon?
Yeah.
Is that what you guys call it?
Yeah,
Lashon.
short lashon.
Yeah. Like McDonald's.
Yeah.
First time when I landed, the very first time I was here, I asked about McDonald's.
Oh my God.
And they looked at me like I was crazy, and then they finally said, "Oh, McDo's."
McDo's.
McDo. So it's a McDo.
I think the mosquito living here is already dead. Because the mosquito cannot eat. He don't have any eat because how many days that we're not using the car.
Yeah, he died of starvation.
Yeah.
Oh look, they have intestine for sale.
Yeah. Intestine.
Fried intestine. I tried that once.
But you don't like the taste.
It wasn't. It was too chewy.
Chewy.
It was like chewing a rubber band. Fried intestine does taste like chicken. It is chicken. It's good chicken, but it still chews like you're chewing on a rubber band. How's it again? You know, this new law about the taking so many people on a motorcycle, you think they'll go to the three-wheelers too?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, new law did go into effect. If you get caught driving or riding a moped or a motorcycle or anything, if you get caught doing that or playing on your cell phone or any of that stuff, you will get a 5,000 peso ticket. I think that's right. Yeah, 5,000 pesos. And that's quite a bit.
If you will not pay for it, they will get your...
I don't know, phone?
You will get your license.
They'll take your license away from you.
And then you don't have any chance to drive at all.
Yep. And that's a bad thing. We don't want that. Because that way is Cebu. That one is... Which way?
Lashon.
Lashon.
Lashon, Liloan, Danao, Carmen.
Yeah.
Lashon, Liloan, Compostela, Danao, Carmen.
Hey, hon. Where are we at?
Market of Consolacion.
I can't hear you. Up and around.
Market Consolacion.
Okay. Very busy. Even the dogs got to eat. Whew. Very strong smells in here. Okay, so here we go. In Constitution Market. Look at how many people in here. Fish. Lots of veggies. What is that? What kind of fish is that? And how much is it?
200 per kilo.
Awful expensive, isn't it? Maybe I need to wait outside.
Huh?
Is it because I'm here, you think?
No, the same. Because that is expensive.
clean it over there, where she's gonna take all the cleaning off of it. You got 2 of them?
Yeah, fresh cake na, baru na lang ako. Wapa siya. O nang asang ma. Kini siya. Wala po to 50. Red. Pwede na magpatlan. Ano lang ma'am?
They also have squid.
Delicious squid.
How much is your squid?
380.
Never had squid.
And so fresh.
Okay, now they have fresh veggies and potatoes. How much are the potatoes?
80.
A kilo? You getting some green beans?
No green.
Those are peppers, but you have green beans. Back again for an update on the immigration and the requirements for getting married. Now, we covered some of the things you needed from immigration, like you needed a Cenomar, you needed for me, you needed clearance, had to get an ACR card. We did all that stuff last week. Do a little update. Last week we went down and applied for my ACR card, which is your alien registration card, which everyone has to have after 59 days. Well, they kept my passport and they told me to come back on the 19th and get it. And to be honest, I was a little bit leery because I figured once I got there on the 19th, I was waiting for them to say, sorry, come back tomorrow or come back next week. Things kind of move a little slower here in the Philippines, which, not complaining, it's just the way it is. You just learn to deal with everything here. They have their own speed. It's as simple as that. So today we decided that we were going to go to the market in Constellation. It's the outdoor. What kind of market? It's called a wet market.
Wet market.
A wet market where they have fresh pork and chicken and everything like that. So we did that. But I want to do first. I want to do an update on everything we got. We got my passport back on the 19th. That was good. So going back to what you need to get married here in the Philippines, you have two ways of getting married. You have a civil wedding and then you have a church wedding. Now, if you want a church wedding, which these are the things that you need to have. So I'll read it off here for you guys. It says for single persons, you must have to be married in a church, if you're Catholic here, you must have a baptismal certificate, must be issued within the last 3 months for marriage purposes. You must have a confirmation certificate, must be issued within the last 3 months for marriage purposes. You must have a marriage license taken 10 days to secure from the civil registrar. So, and you also need a permit from the parish priest if the woman is to be married outside her parish. So if you live in one barangay parish and you go to another one, you have to have a certificate. For single foreigners, if you're single and you're getting married for the first time, you will need to have a civil status certificate from the representative consulate embassy of your country, which is a certificate of no impediment legal capacity. Now, the way I'm reading that is that you're not wanted, I guess, maybe by the police. You don't have warrants. Maybe that's what that means. I really don't know because it doesn't pertain to me, so I didn't do a lot of looking into what that actually means. You need a permit recommendation from the Catholic parish, even if the foreigner belongs to another religious sect, since he or she is marrying a Catholic at this time. So you need your baptismal certificate, and you need a confirmation certificate, and you need your birth certificate for non-Catholics. Now, if you were married, you would have to fall under this list for divorced persons. Now, you need, if you're divorced, you need a decree of absolute divorce from a civil court. In other words, you must have your divorce papers from whatever town or state you live in, from whatever country you come from. You need a declaration of freedom to marry from the Catholic Matrimonial Tribunal or the annulment from the Chancery of State where one resides. Same as see above, which is you need to have a certificate saying that you can marry a Catholic. For widowed foreigners, again, it doesn't pertain to me, so I'm not a widower. It says you must have the same requirements for single foreigners in Part C. You must have a death certificate of the former spouse, otherwise you can't marry. Now, this is to be married in a church. I don't have my confirmation. I don't have my baptismal. These things were lost years ago. So it's going to be pretty impossible for me to get these. I think, Mary, you're missing some things also from the church? Our confirmation and that. So we have decided to go with a civil wedding and then just have a great big reception. Thank you. My brain is not working. Sorry, guys.
Your brain is fogging.
My brain is fogging. I'm loading. So, all right. So we then talked to someone and got a list of things you need if you're going to be involved in a civil wedding here. So the civil wedding is pretty simple. For the person who lives here, she will need a birth certificate, or he will need a birth certificate, male and female. You'll need a cinnamar from the male or the female with a receipt that you went and filed for your cinnamar. Now, hon, tell me what a cinnamar is again.
Certificate of no marriage.
It is a certificate of no marriage in this country. That is proof. But the government is saying, yes, she can get married. She is not married. You must have this. And we'll go back to that too. You must have a barangay certificate for marriage. And you must have a receipt for this. And you get your barangay certificate of marriage from who? Who do you get that from?
Barangay hall.
The barangay captain?
Yeah.
So you get that from your local barangay captain. You get your certificate for marriage. These are things that she has to have. We have to have also, but she has to have a certificate of her seminar, pre-marriage counseling. So we have to go through pre-marriage counseling before we can get married. That's the law. You must go through that. Because as everybody knows, in the Philippines, there is no such thing as divorce. It doesn't happen here. They don't allow it. You must have a certificate of seminar pre-marriage counseling from the city health office or social workers services. Number 5, she must have a consent to a person under the age of 20 years of age and must be signed by the father. Well, that's not an issue. She's well over 20. She's well over 20, and well, so am I. Where else? Okay, number 6. You must advice upon intended marriage for anyone 21 to 25 years of age, and it must be signed by the parents. Again, she's well over 25, so it's not an issue.
Minor.
Yes, yeah, it's considered a minor. Okay, and last but not least, she must have a resident certificate. It's called a cedula, and it is only those who are residents in Mandaue. So that's her. Now, all 7 of those things she has to apply for, even though a couple of them are about us, like a certificate of marriage and that. But here's what I need. You ready for this? In a different country, in this country, I need legal capacity. Must be here in the Philippines from a representative embassy. So I need something from my embassy saying I am legally okay to marry. I must have a divorce decree if divorced. I must have a birth certificate or passport. I happen to take both with me all the time. I carry copies of my birth certificate. I must have a Cenomar, which we did file for my Cenomar here, because we found out later, going back to the Cenomar thing, when we filed for her Cenomar, we left. And then we found out when we got this that I also have to have one from this country. They do a background on me also. So we had to go back to the place where you file for it, and then we filed one. Hers should be here on the 30th. Yeah, yours should be here on the 30th. Mine will probably be here the first week of next month. And I need, Cenomar, it's a certificate of no marriage issued here by the NSO, the National Statistics Office here in the Philippines. That's it. I need 4 things. That's it. And I have all of them already except for the Cenomar and the U.S. Embassy that's saying that I can't get married, that I am not wanted by the police. So that's it. You have 2 kinds of marriages and 2 different lists that you have to get married here in the Philippines. Now it's not a real hard thing. The problem is that when you do this, it just takes a long time to get them done. It takes you a month to get your Cenomar, and your Cenomar is only good for 6 months. So when you get it, make sure that you decide you guys are getting married within the next 6 months after you get that. So, oh yeah, we still have to do our Cenomar. We still have to do our counseling. That's the one we have to do. We have to set a date once we get our Cenomars. Then we need to set a date to have the counseling. Next month, around the 15th or 16th, my ACR card will be in, and we'll have the ACR card. We'll have which I can do my license. Then I can go back to the LTO and then get my license for here.
After that seminar, we have a preparation for our clothes to wear.
Yeah, that's part of the preparation for the wedding. Yeah, because again, everybody knows I'm 6'5", and they don't make clothes for someone my height, especially some wedding clothes, some nice, maybe a suit. And, I have to find a place that does that. I may have to special order it. So everyone here is probably about this tall. So other than that, you're going to be able to watch our video here that we just went to the wet market and we picked up some chicken and some fish, vegetables, potatoes, which are a lot cheaper buying them in the wet market, and they're a lot fresher than buying them in the supermarket. We go to the Save More, and they do have good prices at the Save More, but it seems like when we go to wet markets, you always get a better deal. And the only thing I did see, I have to say this because even though she'll probably disagree with me, when we walked up to one of the ladies who was selling the meat or the fish, and she got the fish, and then I asked, well, how much was the fish? And she said it was $250 per kilo.
200 only for the stonefish. We call that stonefish. Is that sa bato?
Okay, so she got what was like she calls stonefish.
Molmol.
Huh?
Molmol.
What?
Molmol.
Molmol?
Molmol. M-O-L-M-O-L.
Molmol?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fish.
That's a
Okay, I won't argue. All I know
fish.
is when she cooks fish, I love it. It tastes good because she's a wonderful cook. I mean, I think I'm gaining weight now. When I first got here, I kind of cut back on a lot of stuff, but now I think I'm starting to gain weight again because of her. Because she can fry some chicken. Oh my gosh, she can fry some chicken. Whew. That's it. And until our next video, I'm Kelly.
Hi, I'm Mary Ann.
And we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye-bye.